Hey, boos! Come talk to me! Happy hump day or whatever. Y'all know I gotta get my groove on, right? Hey, boo, hey! Hey, boo! Y'all, I just can't act right. I don't know why. Happy hump day, y'all. How was your Wednesday? I hope y'all had a groovy-licious Wednesday or whatever. Hey, daughter. Y'all know I'm just thugging in my, he said thugging in this Reeboks, but I don't got no shoes on. Hey, y'all. Yo, this is my shit, right? How many of y'all got people out there that just was playing with y'all this week? I don't know what it is. It seemed like people just want us to show our ass, like, for real. I was getting tested all week. I was like, oh, they went to old test. But you know what? Nobody's getting the old tip. They only getting the new tip, right? Because, like, the new tip is everything, right? She's a mixture of the old tip. Hey, y'all, hey! But I done learned the lessons that I needed to learn, right? Because everything we go through makes us better. So, hey, y'all, hey! Happy Wednesday. So, it is a hump day. I know you said you feel my ambience. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yo, the test is for real. So, I hope you guys are spiritually protecting yourselves. Because, like, the energy vampires is real. The tests and trials of your fate is real. Right? Daughter, what's going on? It's crazy out here. But yeah, you guys, so y'all, yo. But I don't care how crazy it get, we gotta hold our heads, right? Right. Where is Mr. Beckett? Mr. Beckett wanted to talk about, have you ever felt an entity in the room with you while you are having I'm keeping it G. Rated G. I ain't did shit but been a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So, happy hump day or whatever. I want to thank everybody who came on here to hang out with me. Hey, y'all. Hey. I love and appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. And, you know, I just appreciate you taking the time to come on here and hear what it is that I got to say. So, I hope you guys had a Wednesday that was amazing. I hope you guys felt like royalty. I hope you guys felt chosen. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys felt chosen and amazing, right? And I hope you guys felt like the hottest thing popping when y'all walked in the room. You know what I'm saying? So tonight we want to talk a little bit about Mr. Beckett wanted to talk about entities, so he need to come on in here. And I just wanted to, hey, Mr. Beckett! So Mr. Beckett wanted to talk about, have y'all ever felt an entity in the room with you, while you were having sex? Make sure I said that right, Mr. Beckett. Hey, Mr. Beckett! So I hope you guys had an amazing day. But yeah, the test is real, but like, we holding our head, right? And I find that gratitude is a great way to keep your energy high, right? And keep you focused on the main thing, you know, because we gotta keep the main thing. So like today, I work 4 days a week, and then like normally I sub in the middle of the week on Wednesdays. So I subbed today in a pre-K class, and they were so cute, right? So although I have things in my life that may be, hey boo, hey! Although I may have things in my life that may be stressing me or may not be up to par or ideal, I chose to focus on gratitude, right? I chose to focus on how damn cute those kids was. And just how amazing the experience was. Like, I don't know, that teacher was like an earth angel. She was like precious. I sit in a lot of classrooms, but like them teachers be all stank and snarky and smart mouth, but she was amazing. It was just like a good vibe. I don't know if y'all remember pre-K. Do y'all remember pre-K? Tell me if you remember kindergarten, right? But like, yo, hopefully y'all had a good experience. Like, it was so sweet, right? So I just chose to focus on, you know, what was going on at the time. Because a lot of times, we are stressed about the future. And sometimes we are stressed about the past, right? But we have to live in a moment. And we have to live a life of gratitude so that we are always keeping ourselves at our highest vibration. Because, and this can segue right into what Mr. Beckett want to talk about, because, this is what y'all been wanting? Hold on, I got a jam for a little bit. For everybody who was like ready to fight this week, right? For all of y'all that was getting tested. My brother tried to end me, dog. For all those that got family that's like crazy, like, you fam, like, how you gonna try to end me, dog? You bitches on my sons, learn your A's and B's. Change your mind in the judge chambers, please. Next on the line, I ain't talking about the PC. I'm the biggest fish in the pen, I'll do you greasy. All you gotta do is call up in my She said, I'm the biggest fish in the pan that do you greasy. Do a shots, then I ride them like a whore. I mean a horse, I'm a boss. Yeah, I got the juice and I'm taking the morning tour. She said ride them like a horse. Hey, y'all, hey. You do. Yes. You know what? That's the perfect way to describe gratitude. Fuel. She said still going bad on the same hoe. She said I might have to get in my bag. Yo, I hope your Wednesday was rocking, right? And if it wasn't, I'm just here to tell you, you shine no matter what. I'm a Cupid, bitch. You get a soulmate. You get a soulmate. You get a soulmate. She said I'm fucking 3 to 4 times a day. I'm feeling real good. Real good right now. Oh my. Hey yo. Shout bitches though. All my bad bitches though. Alright, Mr. Beckett. Drop your question, Mr. Beckett. She said heavy on his sleeve. Alright, I'm done. Ha! You know, every now and again you gotta have a dance break. Alright, so Mr. Beckett wanted to talk about if you were ever, and I need to know why Mr. Beckett had that question. So he wanted to know, oh, this, yo, Nicki Minaj speaking Spanish? That shit make you feel sexy as hell. Alright, so all my ladies, the advice of the day is put on Nicki Minaj. Anything where she's speaking in Spanish. Ow! It'll ignite your root chakra. Oh, I can't behave, y'all. Thanks to Tiffy, all these new bitches can see the way. So Mr. Beckett said, has anyone ever felt a presence in the bedroom while having sex? So Mr. Beckett, you gonna answer that question? I'ma answer. I'ma say no. She said he want the short child. So I have never felt an entity in the bedroom, but we do need to be very, very careful. So we talked the other night, we talked about threesomes, right? And I talked about the importance of, hey y'all, hey! I talked about the importance of the, you know, remembering, normalizing the sanctity of sex, right? Because we just take it so for granted, right? And that's why a lot of times some of us are suffering, right? And we don't understand why, and we don't realize that it's because we have, hey OG Steve! Hey boo! Yo, I gotta dance for a little while because Steve came in. Oh my God, y'all! This is what y'all get when I miss a Monday. And I ain't do no yoga this morning. Woo! Hey, Steve! So, Mr. Beckett wanted to talk about, has anybody ever felt an entity in the room while they were having sex? I answered the question. I said no, right? But sexual intercourse is a very crucial time where sexual entities can attach themselves to you, right? And I put up something the other day about how to know if you have a spirit wife or a spirit husband, right? And basically what that is it is an entity that attaches itself to your energetic field, so to speak. And the crazy thing is, God gave me this download while I was on my way driving to New York. I had to pull over. I was like, God, see, I can't work no job, see, because if you want to drop downloads on me in the middle of the day, I need to be free, right? Anyway, so he was, so basically he dropped this download, and there are people who know how to do energy work, right? And the other night, somebody asked me the question, and I've heard this question before, right? And I try to always make sure that I am giving people what they need, right? Because I come on here and I play all day, right? I play and I'm silly, right? But I don't play about spiritual stuff, right? And I don't play about people's soul, right? So I never, ever want to be responsible for somebody coming in my presence, asking me a question, needing help, and I have the answer, and I did not deliver on that, right? I have a responsibility and a mandate on my life, right? So anyway, you guys, so he was letting me know, okay, the question. So people were like, a lot of people were like, why did all my friends, why, ooh, 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 why they do this? All right, so some people said, why is it that they lose all their friends, right? And a person said, my true friends, right? So that true part really stuck out to me, right? Because how sad and hurt how would you be to lose all your true friends, right? So I started doing some research, right? And I came into some information. So Mr. Beckett talked about the sexual entities in the bedroom while you have sex, right? So I looked into like dark entities, things like that. So there are certain entities that will attach themselves to you, right? In the spirit realm. But they do everything to destroy you coming into marriage in the natural realm, right? So the purpose of these spirits is to basically destroy the sanctity of marriage, right? And what they do is they attach themselves to you. They are hyper sexualized demons, right? The information is on my page, and they cause all types of sexual addictions, right? They cause problems in your personal relationships. They cause problems in your friendships, things of that nature. So basically, these spirits attach themselves to you, right? And they cause basically havoc and destruction on your life, right? And they come up against your relationships, right? So then God further showed me, I'm like, so, well, I really didn't ask the question. It just was kind of like a download while I was on my way driving to New York. And he told me how people have the ability to, oh, another thing, I kept hearing astral stalking. This is where it started. I kept hearing astral stalking. I was like, what is that? And then I kept hearing energetic stalking, right? So that's what happened. I started Googling it and it led me to other information, right? So basically, there are some people who are operating out of their spiritual gifts in a negative sense, right? And they have the ability to infiltrate people's energetic fields, right? So you know how I always tell you guys, make sure that you're keeping your energy field, keeping your chakras clear, protecting your energy, things of that nature. Well, people have access to your energy field, and they have the ability to basically mirror and project, right? So you know how we're dealing with people in relationships where people are narcissistic and things of that nature, like, and it's like, wow, they're a nice person, but then every now and again they just are turn into an asshole, right? And I started to realize that those are people who have entities. And the thing is, the reason why I say this is because I hear people that are like really sorrowful and like sad, like, no, like, what is going on? And that's what made me kind of start looking into it, right? So also with spirit husbands and spirit wives, those are spirits that attach to you energetically, and I believe also in the 3D as well. Some people are tied to people that will not let them go, right? When it's time to go, they get aggressive. They're sexually aggressive. If they can't have you, they will do energetic work on you so that even if you stay tied to, they want you to stay tied to them basically while they wreck your life. Basically, right? Slowly, right? And they basically cause destructions in your friendships, anything healthy, right? They cause you to kind of go into like an isolated mode, like a hermit mode, like you feel like the world is against you, like you're blocking people out, and basically they want you to kind of like get to a point where you are only dependent on them and you feel like there's no one else. I was told that it was a jealous entity of the company I had having sex. It's a jealous entity of the person you were having sex with. So Mr. Beckett, that would be a so that is a prime example, Mr. Beckett, of exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So that would be, if she was a female, that entity, that jealous entity would be like a spirit husband. And basically they operate on the astral plane. So they cause dreams, right? But they are basically like, they're a succubus. They're sucking your soul away slowly but surely. And they come in between any relationships. So from what I'm told, like women that have the attitude like all men are dogs, or like men who have like that ideology that like I'm a sex addict, I just can't be with one woman. Yo, you guys, those are entities. Like, those are demonic entities that are a lot of times attached to people, right? People that deal with a lot of sexual perversions. There's entities that cause people to become gay, like some, or down low brothers, right? Like some of those are dealing with these entities because they cause you to be overly sexualized. And when you have no outlet, right, for it, you turn to porn addictions. You turn to sexual addictions of other people, right? With other people, right? Ooh, I guess I'll leave the light off. Hey! But like, yeah, Mr. Beckett is crazy. So who told you? She did? Did she actually tell you about it? Or who felt it? You or her? That is crazy. I have never, I've never experienced, and never do I want to, right? So we really got to be careful, you guys. Like slurry on sling. We got to be doing our energy work, burning your sage, praying, your crystals, having your crystals under your pillow. Oh my God. Yeah, Mr. Beckett. So that would be like a spirit husband. And the danger of it is like they really come to like marriage. Hey, let's say. And they're also called marine spirits as well. Yeah. So they're also called marine spirits. And guess why they're called marine spirits? Because when they attach themselves to you, they cause, because remember I said, people are like, oh my God, like, why is everybody beefing with me? Why have my friends turned on me? My family have turned on me suddenly, right? So at first I'm like, you're ascending, you're going to a higher realm. But then God reminded me that like there are people out here that are so low vibrational, right? That they will do whatever it is they need to do to hold on to you, hold on to the relationship, right? And when they see that the relationship is ending, out of desperation, they will do things like attach entities to you, right? So that's why we that are called and gifted of God, like, we have to be wise about the things that are going on spiritually, because like these evil mugs out here, like, they know a lot, right? They came into this they came into this reincarnation with a high level of knowledge, right? But they don't use the knowledge for good. They use the knowledge for their benefit. And most times their benefit is tied to something dark, sexual, something addictive in nature, just not good, right? So like, we really need to be praying for those that we know are good people, our guy friends that are getting attached to women and we can't understand why it is that they're tied to them, and it's just like they just going with the flow of all the drama. The marine spirits are marine spirits in that they cause chaos, right? They're spirits of chaos. They cause chaos in your life. Like, you look around and like everywhere you look, it's chaos. Everywhere you look, it's like a fire. It's a spirit, you guys. Okay? Like, God did not design us to live like these miserable lives. And the sad thing is, because a lot of us were raised in childhoods that were rough, it's easier for us to just be like, well, this is just life. Like, this is how it's supposed to be, And the sad thing is, another thing that's really important, another reason why healing is very important is because, and no shade, right? But those of us that have been through traumas or abuse or a lot of losses, a lot of disappointments and things like that in our lifetime, over our lifetime, we are more susceptible for those entities to attach to us if we're not living a high vibrational life, like how we talked about gratitude and just like making it a way in a way of life. That's so important because it keeps you at a vibration where you're not susceptible to lower level entities, right? So that's why it's so important for us to be in healthy relationships. Because these low vibrational relationships can keep us stuck and stagnant, right? Because people attaching shit to us, and it's like we're bamboozled. Like it's like we're asleep. We're woke, but we're asleep. And that's the thing, you guys. Like we gotta get serious, and we gotta repent, and we gotta do right by people. You know, like we gotta be happy for people, and stop wishing bad on people. And like Mr. Beckett said, it was a jealous demon. Like we need to really realize that we're all here with a purpose and a call, right? And we got to learn how to repent. That's the difference between those of us that are divine or striving to go to say yes to our soul's mission, which is our yes to God. And then those of us who decide that like, I'm just going to do it my way. I'm going to do it the dark way. I'm going to just, you know what I mean? Like, I just want what I want, and I'm going to just get what I want. And I'm going to be mad when I see other people getting it. Like, we need to stop. We need to stop it. Guys have to be careful whether you break up with a female on a legitimate tip or slime tip. Some women will ignorantly sell their soul for revenge. Well, Mr. Beckett, you want to talk about it or not on QueenTv After Dark? Mr. Beckett! And it's the truth! It is the truth, y'all. And they don't know when to stop. That's why they about to be banished. Some of them are about to be banished because they didn't know when to stop. They didn't know when to stop. They didn't know when to stop. And the thing is, like, I came out with QueenTv After Dark, and y'all, we about to rock out. Okay, we about to rock out. I'm staying consistent with it because what I realized is like we need to normalize healthy, sexy. You know, I ain't forget the sexy part. Relationships, right? It is a conspiracy against relationships. Y'all, my daughter, so I spoke over my kids what I wanted for them. I did not want them to be in a whole bunch of in and out relationships. I was like, you're going to meet your high school sweetheart. That's the person you going to marry. Ha, 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 yeah, 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 right? Well, both my kids have twin flames, right? So I'm talking to hey, Mr. Davis. So I'm sitting and I'm talking to my daughter, and I'm just like thinking about like all that she went through with the person who is actually her twin. And she was a teenager. And like twin flames are here to show the world unconditional love, right? Twin flame relationships are they're unconventional, right? They are here to reverse generational patterns, ancestral patterns about relationships, right? In our families, right? We're here to basically wipe the slate clean, right? Like to rewrite the template, right? To change the lineage in our families, right? A lot of times we're the black sheep, because we're the ones that are here to do it different, right? So say our family, all throughout the family, it was certain levels of abuse, or certain levels of dying of your spiritual gifts, or certain ways of doing relationships, mindsets, things of that nature. And it's like we've done it generation after generation after generation, and God is just like, okay, enough is enough, right? So then he's using those of us who will say yes to the call. We ain't perfect. We drink. We listen to ratchet music, right? But we love God, and we want to do what's good for the higher good of people, right? So a lot of us were sent in our families to reverse certain generational curses, right? So like me, myself, I was sent to reverse certain generational curses around relationships, right? Around finances, around codependency in women, right? Around sexuality, and women. And a lot of the men out there, you guys were sent to basically redo what relationships look like. I'm going to love my woman, right? And I'm going to love one woman. I'm not going to be a cheater. I'm a beater for my kids, right? I'm going to realize that regardless of who it is that I am or what it is that I went through, I'm here for a purpose, right? And I am important. I am important to my children's lives, right? And whatever I got wrong, I can get it right? There's always time for us to repent and change. As long as we change, as long as we're here on this earth and we change, once we realize that, like, yeah, you know what, that wasn't really working. That wasn't really the best thing for me to be doing, right? Then we good. We need to stop wasting so much time after we realize that, like, damn, I fucked up, or damn, I was fucked up. Like, okay, boom. Now it's time to move forward, right? It's time to realize that everything I went through made me who I am. So now I can each one teach one, right? A lot of us, we are here to be teachers. We are here to be mentors. Hey! Hey, boo, hey! We are here to be mentors. We are here to be the hope, right? The great hope of our families. And although it's like, what? Not me? Like, I'm the fuck up of the family. Hey, boo, hey. We often think that, like, nah, it can't be me, right? Because they raised us in a programming to tell us that we wasn't good enough, right? They made a mockery of our gifts, right? They told us we was crazy. Oh, let's talk about it, right? So I was asleep the other night. So God woke me up and I was listening to, God woke me up and what was playing on the TV was this, he's like a, oh God, what's his name? His name is Gabor Monte, I believe. Gaborm, yeah. Gabor, right? And what I love, Mr. Atkins, you keep asking me out on dates. I keep telling you I am only here for educational and entertainment purposes. I do not go on dates. With people that, anyway, Mr. Atkins, me and you done already had a conversation about this. Anyway, I already told y'all I'm not going to keep reiterating the same stuff all 2021. Like, all right, so boom. Like, house rules. She don't check her inbox, right? Don't send me no dick pics or video chat me because you will be blocked instantly, right? What else? I don't check my inbox. I'm not here looking for a date, right? What else? Don't come up underneath my pictures, like acting like getting like too presumptuous, right? Like, we women, like, you never know, like, the thing is this, like, if you are single, like, you have to, like, if you're single and beautiful, you know, you gotta carry yourself a certain way. And guess what? Like, I'm not thotty-ish. I'm not thottish, right? I am who I am, but I'm, you know what I mean? I'm not for everybody. I'm not here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, like, with that, I'm here to have fun, but I demand certain levels of respect. And there's certain things that I've said, like, over and over again or whatever. So, like, yeah. So, basically, like, so let's just sum it up in a nutshell. So, I am here for educational and entertainment purposes only, right? I'm not here to be asked out on a date. I am single. Yes, indeed. And when my grand steed decides that he wants to ride in on a horse and rescue me, guess what, y'all? I want the path to be clear. I don't want no obstacles. I don't want nothing in his way, right? That's just me. That's just me, right? I'm normalizing, like, healthy women, right? Because I realize a lot of women don't carry it like I carry it, but, like, I'm real with my shit. Like, I'm, like, it's, like, I'm just me, right? I was talking to a very good friend of mine, and I believe in twin flames, right? And I believe that whenever you come in contact with your twin, they are responsible for a lot of your spiritual ascension, right? So, like, who I am now is not who I was 6 months ago, right? And we have to be grateful for the people in our lives that push us, right? who push us to be a better person, regardless to how that push comes, right? Because sometimes people trigger us into being a better person, right? They, you know what I mean? They push our back against the wall and we don't have no choice but to come out fighting, right? And then when we look back, we be like, damn, it made me a better person, even though I thought I was dying at the time. You know what I mean? It made me a better person, right? So, like, we just really gotta be harnessing our inner greatness and make sure that we are, first of all, respecting ourselves, right? And then whenever you respect yourself to the utmost, then you have no problems respecting other people, right? So if you take it easy on yourself, right, then you can take it easy on other people, right? So if you have empathy with yourself, you can have empathy with other people. And what I mean about empathy with yourself is like allowing you to feel your feelings, right? Like I had a conversation today that like, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, right? And I was sad about it. But I gave myself space to feel how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't stuff my feelings and like act like an OG, like really, honestly, I feel like a part of the reason why I come off like such a gangster. Yo, let me tell y'all, this dude the other day, so like I said, I feel like, I said I'm bench pressing the world right now, because that's how I feel, right? Like I just, you know, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I am very connected to God, right? And he is just like, he's just dope, right? He's just dope. And he just like love me, right? He just loves me, right? He just loves me, right? He just loves me. He talks to me. He's just amazing, right? So I live a very happy life, right? I live a very happy life. I feel live a very fulfilled life. Why? Because I live every day truly understanding and believing that I have God's attention. I have his attention. When I talk to him, he hears me, right? And when I ask him questions, he answers, right? So I live a very happy life. I live a very progressive life because I know that no matter what it is that I'm going through, it is only but for a moment, right? And I'm crazy enough to believe that whatever I go through, if I be like, all right, God, what was that all about? That he's really going to answer me, y'all. And I want y'all to get used to listening to God in everything. Right? So let me give you a crash course. A lot of us was tied to narcissists all our life. What do narcissists do? They make you doubt yourself. And in doubting yourself, you doubt your intuition. And in doubting your intuition, you are basically shutting down a very huge part of yourself. Also, when you shut your emotions down, you are shutting off your intuition, right? So we really have to make sure that we're in healthy relationships that nurture who we are, nurture our emotions, make us feel safe, right? To express our emotions, because our emotions are important because they're tied to our gifts. Your gifts are tied to being present in your body, right? Being present in your body means I'm feeling my feelings, right? I'm not disconnecting. So the doctor that I was listening to, he talked about how medicine causes us to disconnect our mind from our bodies, right? And we don't want to disconnect, right? Instead, long story short, we want to just dive into the pain, right? We want to stay in our bodies, dive into the pain and deal with it. Because he talks a lot about addiction and just like the things that happened to us when we were young that shaped us to be the adults that we are now. However, as adults, we can get into relationships that foster the healing that we need, right? Because some of us, we're adults, right? But we still need to heal. No matter, we're adults, but we still need to heal from certain things, right? And then even those of us who have done a lot of healing work and inner work and things of that nature, even those people, there's still portions of you that getting into a healthy relationship can heal, right? So that's why I'm like, yo, we normalizing healthy relationships, because being in a good relationship it's just a good look. It's a good look and it's a good feel if we keep it real, right? So, last thing I want to talk to you about. The doctor that I was listening to, yo, let me tell y'all how he broke this shit down. He was talking about attachment. He's just dope, 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 right? So check my page. You're going to see the meme, and he's on there, right? So he was talking about, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the ACE studies, right? So with the ACE studies, basically, it shows how those of us that have dealt with certain adversities or adverse effects in our childhood, it directly affects, hey y'all, hey! It directly affects, hey my little Starseed, hey Jackie, hey King, hey Mr. Alexander. But depending on certain things that happen to us in our childhood, it is directly linked to health problems as adults, right? So for instance, a statistic could be, and don't quote me on this, but it's like if you experienced and I'm gonna just say trauma, right? Because I don't want to trigger anybody. But when I say trauma, we're gonna lump any bad thing that could have happened to you whenever you was a little person, right? Because I'm very blunt and straightforward. Because I talk about this stuff all day. I think about this stuff all day, and I meditate on this stuff all day. But at the same time, we're all in different stages in our healing, and I don't ever want to trigger someone because I'm just only here to enlighten, right? So say you had, or I don't ever, you know what, also too, I don't ever want anybody to feel like I'm singling them out, right? Because I know a lot of people and I know a lot of stuff, and I don't ever want people to feel like I'm singling them out, because I'm not. But I know that we all go through the same things, right? So that's why I always say we're tribe, right? And everything when I say we about, and I include myself, doesn't necessarily mean that I went through it, but at the same time, like, I'm just showing that we don't exclude anybody, right? Like, everybody, we're all in this together, right? We've all been through stuff. We all need to deal with stuff. We all need to heal from stuff, right? And we all need to take it easy on each other and take it easy on ourselves, right? So, all right, boom. So one of his main beliefs is that humans have two needs in this world: authenticity and attachment, right? But if authenticity threatens attachment, then attachment will trump authenticity, right? So what that means is this, y'all. Y'all ever had somebody you just like, you know what? They're such an awesome person. No. Do y'all ever wonder why people struggle? This is the question. Because y'all know y'all be getting mad sometimes. Like, sometimes people be on my post, they be like, it's just that easy. I'm a man, grow up, be mature, and then you'll know what to do. And I'll be like, it ain't that easy. Some of us been through some trauma, right? And trauma is not what you've been through. Trauma is the result of something that you went through that was traumatizing, right? All right, so we talk about attachments, right? So there's many different theories on attachments, right? And we'll give y'all a crash course. There's many different theories on attachment, and depending on how it is that your parents related to you as a baby will determine what your attachment style is in relationships, right? So the quote that attachment trumps authenticity says, a lot of times whenever we are young, right, we may be really unique. How many people y'all know? But like, they were very, very unique, right? Very, very unique, young, talented, very gifted. And it's like, once they started showing their gifts to the family, it was just like, oh my God, they were like outcasted. They were made to feel like weird, or like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you just too much, or you know what I mean? Just blackballed, right? So that is you. Like, as a child, you are in your authenticity. You're just you. You're just you, right? Raw, authentic, right? So if you are not celebrated, right, for who it is that you are, you will find a way to be celebrated for something, right? So say if that means, okay, so I don't get praise or recognition or made to feel good whenever I do this, but whenever I do this, I notice that People notice me, I get the attention that I want or that I need, right? So that attention that I want and that I need is the attachment, right? So people will do whatever it is that they need to do in order to get that attachment, even if it means that they have to deny their authentic self, right? So a lot of us, we have been doing this since we were children, because not all of our parents were abusive per se, neglectful per se, but if a parent was stressed, distracted by their own pain or stress or things like that, right? That affects the child's attachment style too. Who knew, right? So yeah, so with that, we all come into relationships, relate in a different way. We all come into this world, relate in a different way, right? So I just want to encourage you guys to always, at this point in our lives, we know that, like, okay, so I denied some things about myself, or, I went against some things, all for the sake of attachment, all for the sake of friendships, all for the sake of relationships with family. Hey, I'm the person that, hey, I always show up and buy everything. I pay the tab. You know what I mean? Like, we all have something that we do. Some of us may have had a parent that we needed to take care of, cater to. And when we did that, when we were caring for them, that's when we felt that attachment, right? So that's what we did, even if it meant that we didn't care about our own feelings. Like, we found that, okay, my coping mechanism for the fact that I'm not being seen and heard the way that I really would want to, my coping mechanism is to care for somebody else, or, you know what I mean, do something for somebody else. So that's why we talk about how addiction is not necessarily a choice. Addiction is that way of, like, feeding that pain, right? Versus diving into the pain and saying, okay, so why do I feel such and such and such and such? Let me just look at it. What Mr. Becker said. The last frontier is the human mind. Scientifically, we only use 20% of it. So what we do with the other 80? You know what I think is really interesting? The fact that what is it? 5%. We only use 5% of our unconscious mind, and 95% of our conscious mind. But our unconscious mind is what governs our behavior. Like, that's crazy, right? I'm like, what? So, like, the part that governs my behavior is the part that I don't even really listen to? So if we tap into it, Miss Beck, then what will happen? So we're tapped into 20%. The other 80% is untapped. So if we tapped into it, what would that look like? What would that look like? I think that would look like spirituality and, like, higher consciousness. That's what I think. Because I feel like whenever you become open to the fact that, like, there's a one consciousness, or that, like, our consciousness can be expanded, I feel like the more you come into it, the more you have the bigger your brain get. Because I got a big brain. But seriously, like, as you start to ascend, like, the more information you want, and I feel like the more information you have the ability to obtain. I told y'all my daughter saw the angel number 444 and was sitting there stumped on this math problem, saw the number, and then all of a sudden could do the math problem. We be getting downloads, y'all, backing it up. Well, Mr. Beckett, I'm tapping. So, Mr. Beckett, how can we tap into the other 80? I bet you I know. I bet you it's meditation. I'm sure. Matter of fact, I'm sure of it. Oh. Wait, I think I need to hold on. Daughter, you better come through, daughter. Look. When I typed it up, I was about to say, damn with daughter. Yo, she said, I know how to get a bag, don't I? I know how to make a bitch mad, don't I? Yo, he said you hate that like when niggas tell you relax. I do hate when niggas tell me relax. Oh, I hate that. Them is fighting words, yo. Don't tell me relax. You relax. So, Mr. Beckett, you gotta tell us how we gonna tap into the other 80% of our brains. Daughter, I think I missed the part I was trying to find. Let me see if there's anything else I want to tell y'all. Because, you know, I got to be productive with my life. Wait. I have some notes for y'all. Let me make sure I ain't... Make my ex want to get it back. That's a fact. Let me say it for the bitches in the back. Backing it up. Backing it up. Yo, I can't be missing no nights because I can't act right. Bitches think they fucking with me, must be sick in the head. You see who switched up sides and who was solid? Ah! Y'all, every now and again, you know. So, y'all, your greatest people of wealth and knowledge and self-fulfillment found out how to tap into more of it. Who, Mr. Beckett? Who's the greatest people of wealth? Well, guess what, Mr. Beckett? So, Mr. Beckett, I'm gonna say that I think I've tapped into more of my untapped brain potential. But what's up, OG Stays? So I just want to thank y'all for coming on here to hang out with mine. I think I need to get offline, y'all. Because I'm kind of acting up a little bit. Why do Cardi talk so much shit? Yo, she said, stupid hoe, unattractive, unimportant. So yeah, you guys, happy hump day or whatever. Oh my goodness, my phone is... Oh, you know what? I don't know, Mandingo. Hey, boo. It is always so good to see you. Yeah, so I'm down with Eckhart Tolle. So, Mr. Beckett, I thought about you. Check out the guy on my page. I think it's like Go Bird. I don't know. Whoever he is, he's amazing. What I like about him is he used to be a doctor, right? He used to be a doctor, and I think he's like retired. But now like he has like a totally different like belief on just just like the ability to heal and like stress on your body, listening to your body. I think the name of his book is called When Your Body, one of the name of his book is called When Your Body Says No. But like, it's amazing. Like, I love the concept because it comes from the point of view of, you know, our childhood, which a lot of things happen in our childhood, but it's a very hopeful theory in that, you know, he just teaches us how to foster those healthy relationships now, to help us heal. And I just think that's such a positive, thought process, right? So I would agree. But yeah, you guys, that whole attachment trumps authenticity. That's really, really deep to think about, you know what I mean? And if you realize that, you know, maybe all your life you haven't been, you know, your authentic self, you know, it's okay. You know, you didn't, you know, they didn't, I say prime, right? Like, it's certain, we were like primed to do or programmed to do certain things. But 9 times out of 10, whatever we was programmed to do is the opposite of what we was really here to do. But in that, we learn hella lessons. And that's the point. Like, we go through what it is that we go through to learn certain lessons. And those of us that believe in reincarnation and past lives and things like that, a lot of times what we're here to learn in this lifetime was a lesson that we didn't learn in our past life before we passed on. Right? But yeah, you guys, that's all I got for y'all. I'm hungry. I need to go get me something to eat. But I love you, Stace. Thanks for coming on here and hanging out with me, my boo. Thanks, my love, my tribe. Y'all got a little extra juicy. Oh, look at my book, y'all. Oh, you know what? That just reminds me. Hold on, because I got to talk about this on my live. Hold on 1 second. Ooh. Woo. Alright, y'all. So, my girlfriend wrote a book. It's called Woman, the Pieces of My Puzzle, right? And once a month, we do a sip and discuss, right? Or sip and chat. I like sip and chat. I like the way my mouth wrap around that. Sip and chat. So we do a sip and chat once a month, right? And I'm not sure what chapter I am. So she has someone, you know, one of us that is in the mental health field or something of that nature. It's us and the person in the book. So we partner up with them, right? So the book is on Amazon, right? It dives into some deep shit, right? It's a wonderful book, right? So I'm going to talk about this for my next live. Wait, dang, I can't even do my next live. Friday I'm supposed to do a live, but I'll be on this call, right? And we'll be discussing the book. So it talks about different women, stories, things they have gone through, and we just get the opportunity to discuss it and, you know, sip wine and talk about it or whatever. So I'm going to post the information on my page. If you want to be a part, let me know, inbox me, and we will send. It's on Zoom. And it's free. And yeah, so we're just going to talk about the book and sip and chat, even if you don't have the book. The person. So it's chapter 2. We're starting chapter 2. Miss Tori, a very, very good friend of mine, is going to be discussing chapter 2. So even if you come and you haven't bought the book, you can still come and hang out. What else? This here book. What else did I want to tell y'all? So yeah, so support me in that. I'm going to be posting it on my page. Dang, I forgot what else. All that, and you say only works if you reprogram your brain. True. Yeah. Yep. Like that brain reprogramming, that is the beginning of it. Like hella yeah. Like all my practices and premises will be based on, you know, the reprogramming of the brain. However, like helping us understand why it is that we have gone through certain things, educating people. That is also a part of reprogramming your brain, right? Because if you believe that like, oh, I'm just an asshole and like everybody just runs away from me because like the universe hates me, you may need to be educated on what really may be going on with you. Like you may have, you know, come into contact with an entity that has attached itself to you. You haven't realized it yet. You need to cleanse your aura. You need to, you know what I mean, pray some prayers, whatever it is. But it's like certain things we just don't recognize it. And if we don't know, we just, you know what I mean, we just don't know, right? So yeah, Mr. Beckett said next topic should be about social engineering and the effects of the Willie Lynch syndrome with black folks. What that mean, Mr. Beckett? Tell me more. Social engineering. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? So what does that look like? What does that look like? Hey, Mr. Todd. Thank you, sir. But yeah, definitely reprogramming is very, very, very important. And for me, you know what, you guys, like, just give me a little bit of time. Just give me a little bit of time. Just give me a little bit of time. Like, you guys will be very, very pleased. But yeah, I'm gonna be into all of that. Well, we getting into all of that. But yeah. But it ain't gonna be free. It ain't gonna be free. But yeah, I plan on I'm gonna be a think coach. I'm gonna really help people reprogramming their thinking as it relates to themselves, as it relates to their gifting. Just, you know, as we see, basically reprogramming how it is that we see ourselves, right? Because if we see ourselves as kings and queens and not just saying it, but really seeing ourselves as such, right? If we heal our way of thinking, heal ancestral patterns, things of that nature, then we have a new way of thinking. We have a new way of believing. So a lot of us, we are here to reset those templates, right? Oh, that's what I was looking for. Right. So I want to remind y'all, y'all are the great hope of your lineage, right? Oh, and I want y'all to know that y'all are here to set a new template for your family line. And what else? Yeah, that's what I want y'all to know. Okay. So, yeah, so with that being the case, if we step out, right, and we are the ones who have a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at things, a new way of viewing things, then, you know what I mean? We step into who it is that we but see, this is the thing, you guys. What I want to remind y'all is, y'all may be like, oh my God, that's a big task. What you mean my whole family line? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all done already did this for lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes. It's already in you. Your soul already knows. Whatever you came into this lifetime able to do with ease and grace, it's because you already did it. You already were successful at it in a lifetime, in a past life. So God is here to push you even further in this lifetime. So whatever your gifts are, he's here to push it a little bit further, right? Because those of us that really can attest to the fact that, like, yeah, I'm here for a reason and a purpose. Like, yo, we are here to set the world on its ear, right? People out here suffering with entities and all kinds of stuff. Like, people are out here suffering and they don't know why. So it is our job to creep up ahead. Those of us that are dreamers, those of us that are visionaries, those of us that just sit and journal and write and God just talks to them and just drop stuff in their spirit. Like, yeah, we're here to really like reset some things. The black sheep in the family, like, everybody, yeah, you was the black sheep for a reason, because you're the great white hope. Ha! Isn't that a joke? Isn't that such a joke? Such an oxymoron. The black sheep and the great white hope sound like a little yin and yang, right? So I want to encourage you guys that we are all comprised of light and dark, and don't be afraid of your dark side. Don't be afraid of your dark side. You have to embrace your dark in order to be able to embrace your light. So for those of us that have been through something and we feel like, oh my God, like I'm just so horrible and this person is better because I'm such a bad. No, we all have to harness and embrace our dark side. I told my boo today, I said, yo, like back in the day, I was one way. In the summertime, I was one way. And now, like, I will smile and cut your ass all at the same damn time, right? Because it's warrior season. And some of us have been through certain activations and initiations. And when y'all wake up and y'all feeling different, yo, let me tell you. You woke up feeling different. You woke up feeling like a warrior because you've been receiving certain downloads, certain activations, and things of that nature. So, like, when you feeling like King Kong ain't gotten, yo, let me tell you, like, it's not a joke. Like, God is doing it. So don't take anything about you, your gift, how it is you feeling, what it is that you feel like you need to say, what it is that you writing, what it is that you singing, talking about, preaching about, creating, whatever the case may be. I want you guys to know that, like, God has his eye on you. And I want y'all to really be making sure that y'all are staying connected to God, because he is constantly, man, he's constantly talking. Like, when you start to really trust yourself, which that's the purpose of a narcissist, to make you deny yourself, question yourself so much that, like, you're no longer present in your body, you're not mindful, you're just always in, like, shutdown mode, right? But when you start to heal and get in tune with your body and certain sensations and utilizing mindfulness and eating well and things of that nature, like, you'll realize that, like, your gifts flow so much easier. So I just really, really, really want to encourage you guys to trust your gifts. Trust your gifts and use your gifts, because they're here to make us great, right? They are here to allow us to be able to do certain things and go certain places and achieve certain things, because we are gifted to be able to do it. Like, we've been fighting all our lives. We came into this lifetime as warriors, right? So a lot of us, we have fought a good fight already. And it's not time for us to fight. It's time for us to just speak it, and it is so, right? It's time for us to be master manifestors. Why? Because God has stuff for us to do. So, like, life can't be hard. Like, I can't have to save a nation and have a hard life. No, God is here to make it easier on us, but we have to understand it and recognize it. And like Mr. Beckett said, and like I firmly believe, that all comes from, like, really reprogramming our, our thoughts. First of all, like, that's why self-love is so important. Self-love is a mental transformation, I would say, right? That self-love, when you fall in love with yourself, like, you start to see yourself differently. You talk to yourself differently. You have different thoughts about yourself mentally, right? That's self-love. Mr. Becker said, how the powers that be has programmed us black folks to be controlled, to be unified, to be controlled with any situation with us or among us. So, like, yeah, so we realize that that's what the government has programmed us to do. So that's why we are here. Like, I don't feel the need to talk about black folks being controlled, because I'm here to set y'all minds free. I'm here to tell y'all, that's why I come on here every day and tell you that you can have whatever it is that you want. That's why I'm here to tell you that you are starseed. You can't be controlled. We can't be labeled as black folks. That's fine. But at the same time, like, no, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. It just so happened I'm in a melanated body this time, right? So once we realize, like, who it is that we are, we're no longer controlled. We're not. I'm not controlled by shit. I'm not controlled by money. I'm not controlled by people's opinions of me. Like, I told somebody today, I said, yo, I will live off the bare minimum if it means I have peace. Like, I will figure it out. Like, money is not everything. Like, I'm not gonna be you know what I mean, like, but I got money, or you know what I mean, like, this situation isn't ideal for me, but like, if money is attached to it, I'm gonna do it. Like, the fuck? Like, and that's the thing, like, we're control. And you know what, Mr. Beckett? So I would dare to say, so the powers that be says we're controlled to be controlled and be ununified to be controlled with any situation with us or among us. But yeah, you know, Mr. Beckett, we can acknowledge that. But however, we are here to create a different level of control, right? So like those of us who speak up and speak out, we are reminding people to take back the control that they have given away to their families, to their ways of thinking, right? To their toxic patterns that have been mirrored to us in family over and over and over and over again. Like, that's what we're here to do. Like, we're here to like break the mold, right? Because like oppression is tiring. Yes, it's about the... Yo, and thought is so powerful. I don't think people realize. People don't realize they actually be creating their downfall at times through their thoughts, right? So that's why I believe that when we talked about those marine spirits too, like they really get into your mental space, right? So that's why mentally we need to be sound, right? Mentally, we need to be like, okay, what am I thinking about? Like, I need to be thinking about what I'm thinking. Because if not, if you're already like a person, say, you know what I mean, you didn't have a lot of positive people speaking into you when you were being raised, right? So you already may, you know what I mean? You don't have the best dialogue with yourself mentally as it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you have something or someone attached to you that mimics what it is that you rehearse in your brain all the time, like that is when we get stuck. So I am with Mr. Beckett. Like that power of the mind, like that is where it starts. Like, yes. Yes. So yeah, so I definitely will be bringing y'all Think Coach services. But yeah, so we won't get into all of that. I'm going to help y'all reprogram the way y'all think. I'm going to help y'all understand. I'm going to help y'all heal or whatever. But yeah, we won't do all of that. Because the thing is this, like if we just reprogrammed our thinking, and I know Mr. Becker can agree with this, if we just reprogrammed our thinking around certain situations, like that would cause so much healing. Like we would need less like I started to realize like, yo, and that's why when I come on here, I just be like, and I give y'all the long and short and the long and short, right? Because I work in the mental health field, right? I'm a therapist. Most of my what's that? A lot of the therapy that I've enjoyed the most have been with my younger kids, right? But I understand that people work, they work through certain things in therapy, right? And I feel like sometimes there's quicker, more straight to the point, boom, 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 ways to help people get through shit, right? Now, no shade on therapy and therapists, but for me, enough of them are not dedicated to always gaining new knowledge, always finding new ways of doing things, always, you know what I mean? Like, God is always, soon as I think I know something, soon as I think I know somebody, I got all the answers down pat, he'd be like, come here, like, let me put you down with this. Like, yo, when he started talking to me about astral stocking and energetic hijacking and all that, I said, oh my God. Just when I thought I knew and understood, like, the ways of certain, yeah, now you're gonna blow. But God gives you information, like, when it's, when you ready and when it's time. But it just further confirms the fact that I think that we should definitely be, really making sure that we taking care of our energetic health. Our energetic health is important because that is the first thing that is wrecked whenever we go through, childhood trauma, right? It splinters our energy. Hey, boo, hey! It splinters our energy, right? It makes it hard for us to feel comfortable in our own bodies and things of that nature. So we detached, right? That's why a lot of us are addicts, because we're trying to detach our mind from our bodies. But guys, you know what? We just gotta dig deep, right? We gotta dig deep. We gotta feel the pain. We gotta get to the pain so that we can let go of so many addictions. Because the addiction is just to numb the pain. But let's just deal with the pain, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys. So I love y'all so very, 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 very much. If you like what I had to say, share the video. Even if you didn't like what I had to say, share the video. All my videos can be found on YouTube. They can all be found in one place on YouTube. What else I got for y'all? QueenTv, After Dark, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8:30. We out here normalizing healthy and sexy relationships, right? Because if our relationships are not happy, if our relationships are not bringing joy, if our relationships are not bringing healing, then who and what else is? You know what I'm saying? And as black people, as a community, as a whole, as a people, we deserve to heal, right? We deserve to feel good. We deserve to be loved on. We deserve to be treated right? So, yeah, we all we got. And we don't deserve the treatment that we get, right? And we're strong, because if we wasn't a strong people, they would have already taken us out. Like, I don't even know how it is. Hey, Mitch! I don't even know how it is that we survived. Mr. Beckett let's talk about Willie Lynch, and you know what I mean? But I'm like, we on the other side, you know what I mean? Like, we reversing ancestral patterns right through here, right? We doing it different. Like, we're getting into relationships. Hey, Mitch! Shout out to Black Love! Like, we're getting in relationships that, although, like, they may have come at a time where it was just like, yo, like, I'm still with this person, and then this person comes along, and this is the person of my dreams, right? So we are doing things differently, right? We're doing things indecently, and we're doing things in decency and in order, right? But at the same time, we're doing things according to what God would have for us to do for the greater good of our soul and our soul's mission, right? We're saying yes to God's side. And we're not saying yes to the dark side, which are 3D things. Those of us who want to conjure up things on the dark side and do, you know, the works of the dark side and things of that nature, that is running very rampant. So we got to be really, really clear on who it is that we are and where it is that we are going. And I just want you guys to be encouraged and believe that whatever it is that God has put in you, he put it in you, and he said it is good. So I want y'all to be using y'all talents and y'all gifts. I don't want y'all to be doubting yourselves. If God put it in you to do, I want you to do it. Like I was telling Meech, like him and his family, they're always out and like they're always recording and they're funny as shit. I'm like, yo, y'all need to be on YouTube. Why? Because guys, when we're out here and we are happy, we help raise the earth's vibration. We help other people become happy. When we're empowered, we empower other people. When we laugh, we give other people the ability to laugh. When people see love and couples and relationships, they believe that they can be in healthy relationships. When they see families and like black families and they're traveling and they're loving and it don't matter, you know what I mean, how it is that we came together, but now we are all family. We's a blended family. Right? Like the world needs to see more of that, and we need to stop sharing such things that are negative, right? So how about we go out there and we create a life that we could be proud of, right? We go out there and we create a life that can be put on display for other people to see and look up to and say, hey, you know, like I want to be like that. You know what I mean? Or create a life that people can look up to you and like for a minute, they're not thinking about all the negativity that's going on in the world. You know, a lot of us are gifted and have the gifts to be able to do that for our community and for the greater good of all. So we need to get busy, y'all. Mr. Beckett said, get to the belly of the beast. Is sex a compensation of getting real love when you are clueless about being truly loved? Of course. If you don't know what love is, a lot of people, hey, like I said, we talked about authenticity versus attachment. Some of us have been sexually molested whenever we were children, right? And that's the only time we felt attachment, right? So like when I'm going through that as a child, I know that like, okay, this is wrong and I want to run, right? And this is bad, but I have to some kind of way like normalize this, right? So with that, you know, we can have a very warped sense of what sexuality is. Like, we have to remember, like, we have to take it easy. Like, I'm not saying make excuses for people, but, you know, like, it's like we come at people like, and y'all did it. Like, yo, people been through shit. Yes, people use sex to compensate for real love. Because some people think that sex is love. Why? Programming. That's what happened. You know, like, I ain't get no attention unless I was getting molested. Like, sad, but true. So what do? We deny authenticity. Authenticity says this feels shitty. Authenticity says I don't like this. Authenticity says like this is shameful. Authenticity says this is bad. Authenticity says this hurts so much. But are we all able to live in our authenticity in that moment? No. So I have to choose attachment over my own authenticity for my own survival. Because guess what? My abuser is also the person that I need. And with lack of attachment, we die. There were babies, they did experiments, and it's like even though they fed them certain things without like attachment and like affection and things like that, the babies die. So like really, literally, like as a child, like it's about survival. It's about survival. And like I gotta live through some shit to survive. And now I'm the adult that I am, and I'm here and I'm listening to QueenTv, and she's telling me I can heal. Cause we healing y'all. So yes, we definitely use sex as a for real love. Most definitely. And I talked about divine feminines and divine counterparts, and I talked about how sex can also be very healing within divine unions, because I don't know if you were on that night, Mr. Beckett, but I talked about the fact that there is a lot of sexual abuse that happens in homes, right? Males and females. And sexual abuse is always a secret, right? It's a secret, but it's so damaging, right? So a lot of us are still, as adults, maybe even now, healing certain things that happen to us sexually. Some of us are just now coming to terms. I feel crooked in this camera. Some of us are just now coming to terms and being honest about the fact that, you know, it happened. So like, yeah, definitely we use sex for the wrong thing. Absolutely. But we learn to heal, right? And then God is so dope that he actually put mechanisms in place where couples can heal in the relationship. That's another reason why I like Mr. Gabro, is because he talks about how we were broken and we were hurt in relationships, right? So our first heartbreak probably was some family relationship, right? So just like we were broken and hurt in relationships, we also have the ability to heal in our relationships. So I started saying the other day, like, yo, we normalizing healthy relationships, but like, yo, with normalizing healthy relationships, that means that we are creating relationships that will allow us to be able to heal each other. And I think that we need that, right? Because we're not gonna get, like, certain things we're just not gonna get from the community. We're not gonna get from a mental health provider. We're just not gonna get it, but we need it, right? Like, I mean, yo, we as a people, we are traumatized. We're traumatized. Like, if we even, like, when we really think about us as a people and, like, just, like, social media and, like, what we have seen over the last, I don't know, like, we've just lost so many people in such a disgraceful way. And then they post it on social media and we watch those videos. I don't. That's the one time I'm not including myself in the we. But you know, those videos are online and we watch them over and over and over again. And oh my God, we don't even realize we are traumatizing ourselves. We're traumatizing ourselves. And then the media sets it up, like the media decides and dictates what it wants us to see and what it wants us to believe, right? That's why I don't watch the news. Because you're not going to dictate to me what I should believe. You're not going to coerce my mind. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to distract me from what's going on with this because you want to get me all caught up in a bunch of debauchery. So that's why I tried to, like, stay clear. Like, and I don't mind not knowing what's going on, because that means that I'm using my brain power for something more productive than, you know, shenanigans. But, you know, it's a time and place for everything. Because, you know, it may be a day and time where I get into a little shenanigery. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys, we really have to heal. That's the biggest thing. We got to recognize what happened. And then, you know, we got to heal. And we got to take it easy on each other. And we got to take it easy on ourselves, you know. And we have to realize that things go on and, you know, it's physical as well as spiritual. So I really don't want you guys to be sleeping on the things that go on spiritually. Mr. Beckett. So Mr. Beckett gave us our topic for tonight, which was, have you ever felt an entity in the room whenever you were having sexual intercourse? My answer was no. Mr. Beckett has experienced it, but which led us to our discussion about spirit wives and spirit husbands, because he said that the entity was an entity that was jealous of the two of them getting together. So basically, the job and the assignment of those types of spirits and entities are to destroy marriages. And the Bible says that it's not good for man to be alone, right? So that's how we know that it is going against divine order. Right. And then also the Bible says that 2 is better than 1. Right. So basically it's an entity that is there to make sure that you don't get married, hate the person that loves you, deny unconditional love, but tie you to a lot of karmic relationships, creates addictions in you, sexual addictions. That's why some of our men are on the down low and things of that nature. We don't realize and understand that we are actually being controlled by entities, you guys. That's why it's so important for you to do your energy work. And it's so important for us to not just be so willy-nilly with our sex life, right? We need to normalize healthy, sexy relationships, and we also need to normalize the sanctity of sexual intercourse, because yeah, it's being used for dark practices, right? So, you know, that's what I got for you guys. I love y'all so very, 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 very much. It is my desire that you feel like the king or the queen that God has created you to be. And that you will forever be reprogramming your mind, right? Reprogramming your mind, like Mr. Beckett said, because that's so very, very important. It starts with your mental, right? So I'm going to suggest that you go on a self-love journey, because a self-love journey is it's a little old journey with God, where he really shows you and starts to tell you and talk to you about who it is that he created you to be. And for me, that is probably one of the most empowering experiences that you can go through in life. And it really sets you up to live your very best life, right? So I'm going to end on that. I love you guys so very, very much. I probably will see you guys Friday, but I have this sip and chat, I believe. I have to make sure that I have to be there the entire time. If not, I will be here to do my QueenTv after dark. Between 8:30 and 9. Probably a little closer to 9-ish or whatever. So yeah, if you guys got any topics, hit me up. Y'all can drop it on here. Y'all can drop it under whatever, somewhere on my page. But please, please, please make sure you guys check out the post that I put up that said 23 ways to know if you are married to if you have a spirit wife or a spirit husband. Okay, so I'm praying for you guys. I pray that God will protect you in a bubble of his highest divine white light. And you know, I pray a lot for you guys, but I will get with y'all wonderful, beautiful, and amazing people on